If you want to enjoy Chicago, guy, hold your money, because Chicago is not a town where you come when you don't have money. Because when you sit there, see this one, see this one, see this one, you be praying to God, God, why don't I have money? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Eva Daniels-Ato, and I'm a Nigerian YouTuber based in the US. And if this is not your first time, you're loyal. Thank you for being a loyal subscriber and a loyal watcher or viewer, whatever it's called. Yeah, so I know I've been away for quite some time. I think I've been away for like 2 months. Yeah, thereabout. And I don't know if you guys want to know the reason. I posted it on my channel. You guys can go back to that one and watch it. But yeah, I'm back now, and I know before I left I said that I was going to be pretty much consistent with my content and what I'm putting out there, and I would say I actually really tried. I was trying until the unfortunate incident happened, and I just had to like take a few moments to like dial down and tone down, or whatever it is, live life. But anyways, today I'll be talking about the cost of living in US. I know a lot of people have been asking me previously, like, okay, how much does it cost to get a house in US? How much is this? How much is that? And everything. And if you want to find out like the real cost of living in the US, stay tuned and keep watching. Please do not forget to subscribe. Don't forget at all to subscribe. I'm begging you guys, please subscribe. Anyways, let's go right straight into business. So I mean, for the sake of this video, I'm going to be comparing the city and the suburb. For city I'm going to be using Chicago, and for the suburb I'm going to be using Springfield. So suburb, I mean, if you're in Nigeria, if you're somewhere you don't know what suburb means, suburb is like a smaller town where you don't like have a lot of crowd, or it's basically the opposite of city pretty much. And in this comparison, I'm pretty much going to be using Chicago and Springfield. So the first thing I'll compare is housing. Housing in Chicago, my dear sisters and brothers, it's not easy. I'll tell you guys, like, houses are not cheap. They are not cheap. If you want to get like, I mean, the price of houses, it pretty much depends on what you want or what you're looking for. So if you're looking to stay around all the busy places like downtown, in the Loop, or where everything is happening, then you better hold your pockets, because that is expensive. So a typical 1-bedroom around downtown will range from 1,600 to 2200 is even small. Between 1,600 to like 2,500. It depends on where you're staying, and that's for downtown. But if you go towards like, let's say the south, or like deep down in the west or the north and all, you can pretty much find a 1-bedroom apartment for like 1,200 to 1,500. Even that 1,200 is, I'm reaching actually, like in this day and time when the recession is dragging, like, cause I don't know, like you hardly find an apartment for 1,200. But yeah, I mean, if you can search and if you're patient enough, you'll be lucky and you'll find something. But if you want to stay downtown, that's when you really hold your pockets and make sure something is coming. And usually for these houses, they usually require like a lot of things. But if you're coming with like family, or maybe if you want to stay with friends, what I've noticed about housing is that if you rent a 2-bedroom, it's actually cheaper than renting a 1-bedroom. So say for example, you and someone want to rent a 2-bedroom. The 2-bedroom is like maybe 2,700. Sorry, that's 2,700 to 3,000. If you divide it by 2, is like 1.5 or less. So you guys are actually paying pretty much a smaller amount compared to if you're renting like a 1-bedroom. There's also something called a studio apartment. Studio apartments are cheaper. Studio apartments is basically like an open space where it's not segmented. You don't have like a space, or you don't have like a separate room for your kitchen or your bedroom or your living room. Your kitchen, bedroom, and living room all is in one space. The only closed off space that they have is your bathroom and your toilet and your bathroom. That's pretty much it. But in Springfield is way cheaper, and I would say Springfield pretty much is speaking for most suburban communities or most suburban areas. For housing, for typically a 2-bedroom apartment, you could spend between 600 to 900 for a 2-bedroom apartment. For a 1-bedroom apartment, it's pretty much about the same, or it's between 450 to 600 or to 800. It depends on where you want to stay as well. But usually in the suburb, renting a 2-bedroom apartment is way cheaper than renting like a 1-bedroom apartment. At the end of the day, you can even rent a 2-bedroom apartment. You could stay in a 2-bedroom apartment because the cost of renting a 2-bedroom apartment is cheaper, and you could use the spare room for maybe your office, your workstation, or your study station, or even rent it out. You can use it to make money, like business or something. See, I'm giving you guys business tips now. You guys should pay up. But yeah, pretty much that's it for housing in both the suburb and the city. That's Chicago and Springfield. The next comparison will be transportation. So transportation in Chicago or in the city is, yes, it depends. It also depends on the city you're going to. So like for Chicago that I'm comparing now, Chicago has a very, very, very good transportation system. So most often than not, you have really no need for a car, except like you're staying in like the outskirts of Chicago. So if you want to use the public transportation, there is this bus pass called the CTA pass. You could just buy it and pay it monthly. I don't know if they have like a year's deal or something, but people usually buy like a month. You could also buy weekly or daily. It depends on what you want to do. I know daily is about $5. Weekly, I'm not sure how much weekly is, but it should be about $30. And then for the monthly pass, the last time I bought it for like $70 for a month. And you can literally use that bus pass anywhere you want to go, bus or train. But if there's something called a Metra. I've never personally used a Metra before because I'm not going anywhere that requires me to use Metra. But some people like might pretty much want to go somewhere that uses Metra. I heard the Metra cost about $5 for the day. I'm not so sure about that. I can research that and put how much it costs in the description. But there's also something called Metra, and for Uber, it depends on where you're going, but the Uber fare ranges from, the most expensive Uber fare I've ever taken is like $45. That's the most I've paid for my Uber in Chicago, and that was like to a place that was like 30 minutes away. But pretty much Uber ranges from $15 to $45 or $50. It depends on where you're going. So for transportation, there's also something called parking if you have a car, because Chicago parking is like, I don't know, you hardly find parking, and that's one of the disadvantages of driving though. But if you have a car, just pretty much prepare for like between $2.50 an hour to $14 an hour for parking. And then in the suburb, I've personally never used the transportation system in Springfield, but I know that it's not as reliable as Chicago. It's definitely not as reliable. So I would say mostly if you want to stay or move from place to place in Springfield, you better have a car or have money for Uber. And the price of Uber ranges from $12 to like $30. It depends on where you're going, but pretty much Springfield or the suburb is mostly car dependent. And then again, for other cities or for other states, like maybe Texas or something, most places, for example Houston, they don't really have like a very reliable bus system, even though it's a city. So I'll suggest like maybe you do your research on whichever city you're going to and find out the reliability of their transportation system there, and it will really help a lot. So the next thing is utilities. I feel like utilities should have come before, or come before transportation. That's like immediately after housing. But yeah, utilities in Chicago range from between $60 to like $200. Then again, it depends on where you're staying. It depends on how much electric you use and all. And some houses, they usually have like gas system, electric system. Gas system, you use gas for like maybe your cooking range, your heater and all, and then electric you use it for like your lighting. And I'm not sure, different apartments have different whatever they call it, but so I personally live in an apartment that has everything under one, so I know what my utility bill is. But for the suburb like Springfield, the apartments I stayed back in Springfield, it usually was separated. So like my gas bill could range from, it depends on the weather, or it depends on the season. My gas bill could range from $25 to $100. Usually it's really expensive in the winter season because you're using a lot of heat, because this place we are in, the cold, it will finish you. That's it. But another thing I find useful is that some people usually have like this small tabletop heater that they use in place of like their heater, because you want to save all the money you pretty much can. So if you can, I suggest you buy like a small heater or something. For electricity, it ranges between $25 to $100 as well. Still, it depends on your usage. I've heard of a situation where someone's bill was $200 and something. I don't know what they used, or I don't know what they did, but yeah, people's bill could also be that. But typically your bill could range between 60 together now, 60 to like 150. Again, it depends on your usage. Next will be feeding. So feeding will really depend on the person and what you like to eat. Me personally, I don't eat a lot, and I think for feeding, I don't think for feeding there will be much difference between the city and the suburb, because it's pretty much the same thing you eat. Shops or stores or grocery shops usually have like a standardized price for all their things. So if you're buying water $1 in Springfield, it's still the same. The only difference could be like maybe the tax or something like that, although there are some shops that have like different prices for different states, but it's pretty much almost the same thing. So for me, I usually budget like $50. I don't eat a lot. I only eat jollof rice and plantain. I don't really eat protein like chicken or turkey, I used to eat turkey, but I don't have like the quality I used to have back in Nigeria, so I'm like, maybe I'll dial down on that. But for feeding, you can budget between $50 to $100, because that's what I usually spend on feeding, both in Chicago and in Springfield. For entertainment, for the suburb, there aren't a lot of things to do, let me be honest with you. And the most thing you would do is like go out and eat, or go out and watch a movie, or which not every, I mean, people have Netflix. You don't really need to go out to watch movies. You can watch it on Netflix or Hulu or HBO or anything. But there aren't really a lot of entertainment things to do in a suburb. But if you want to like maybe go out with friends and eat, or maybe like go to the park is free. Amen. You don't really have much. But so for Springfield, I would say you should budget between $25 to $100 monthly for entertainment. And for the city, Chicago, if you want to enjoy Chicago, guy, hold your money, because Chicago is not a town where you come when you don't have money. Because when you see things, see this one, see this one, see this one, you be praying to God, God, why don't I have money, or something like that. So pretty much just hold your money. I would say entertainment costs between $25, and $25 itself is even like so it's gonna cost between $25 to like $200 monthly. Yeah, and that depends on what you want to do, because at the end of the day, even if you're going to eat safe in all those restaurants, like, they're quite fancy and they're quite pricey. Like, you could spend literally, for just yourself, you could spend $50 on one plate of food, and I'm not kidding you, including tax and everything. So really, it just really depends on what you want to do, but shall hold your money if you're in Chicago. That's all I'm going to say. And for phone bill will range between $30 to like $100. There are a lot of mobile plans that basically depends on how much gigabytes you want and how much speed you want, but you can get something for $30 monthly to like $100 monthly. $100 like for unlimited or something like that. But yeah, you could, it depends on really what you want, the speed you want, and the gigabytes you want, and what you do on social media. And that also goes for like the entire United States, because everybody's the same thing. We have pretty much the same like kind of phone plans. Like, we have Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile, and a lot of other companies as well. So yeah, it pretty much depends on your usage. So yeah, that pretty much will sum up my analysis of how much it costs to live in the United States. And just to round it up, I'll say like in total you should hold between $2,500, that's $2,500 to $3,000 monthly for the city, and for the suburb you should hold between $1,000 to like maybe 1.5 for your monthly upkeep, to be on check on whatever you have to do so you don't go out of your spending or go broke. I hope this video was really helpful. Please, now that you've heard all these things, please don't forget to subscribe and send my video to people. Another thing, please don't forget to like, because when you like my videos, again, it recommends my videos to more people and other people. And thank you so much for my loyal watchers and viewers. I really love you guys, and thank you so much for the support and all that. I appreciate you. And also, before I move on, I want to thank everyone that reached out to me in my trying time. I really appreciate it. I see you guys a lot. I've not necessarily responded to any comments or anything, because I just find it hard to, but I see you guys and I appreciate you guys a lot. I love you guys so much. And yep, that's it. Subscribe to my channel, and that's on what? Period. Oh. Anyway, see you guys later.